incredible real-life escape of Dieter Dengler, a U.S. Navy pilot who escaped a Laotian prison camp during the Vietnam War, one of the most extreme survival stories ever recorded. The jungle was thick, the kind of thick that swallowed light, where every breath felt like drinking the air, and the heat clung to your skin like another layer. Deep in Laos, in 1966, a man stumbled barefoot, covered in leech bites and filth, eyes sunken from starvation. He had no food, no weapon, no map, just a rusted machete and the determination not to die. His name was Dieter Dengler, a U.S. Navy pilot who had just pulled off one of the most impossible escapes in military history. Dieter had been flying a classified mission over Laos when his plane was shot down. He ejected, crashing into dense jungle. He was alone, disoriented, and being hunted. Within hours, he was captured by local Pathet Lao forces and handed over to the Viet Cong. They didn't treat him as a prisoner of war. They treated him as a trophy. They paraded him through villages, beat him, and eventually locked him in a tiny bamboo cage with other half-dead prisoners. Rats crawled across his chest at night. Malaria and dysentery set in. Food was a few grains of rice, sometimes a worm. Escape seemed impossible. But Dengler was not ordinary. He had already survived a childhood of bombing raids in Nazi Germany, escaped hunger during the post-war collapse, and immigrated to America with nothing but a dream to fly. He wasn't going to die in a bamboo cage. He quietly studied the guards, their routines, their weaknesses. Every night he whispered plans to fellow prisoners. They counted the guards' footsteps, timed the shift changes, watched which weapons were left unattended. And then, one stormy night, 6 prisoners made their move. They waited for the rain. It would cover the sounds of violence. Dengler and another prisoner jumped 2 guards, grabbing a machete and rifle. In seconds, blood sprayed across the camp. 4 guards lay dead. But the real war was just beginning. The jungle wasn't freedom. It was a green hell. The prisoners split into small groups. Dengler and one companion, Dwayne W. Martin, headed west, believing the Mekong River would lead them to safety. But what they didn't know was that the river curved north, deeper into enemy territory. They were walking in circles. For 23 days they fought through rainstorms, drank muddy water, and ate bugs, snails, even raw frogs. Martin lost hope. One morning, in a moment of madness or mercy, Martin was hacked to death by local villagers who saw them as intruders. Dengler escaped, barely. Alone, half-naked, bleeding, and hallucinating, Dengler crawled through the jungle. He had lost over 60 pounds. His toenails fell off. His skin rotted in the humidity. He could no longer tell dream from reality. But he refused to lie down and die. He carved arrows in the dirt with a stick, hoping someone, somewhere, might see. And on the 23rd day, he saw a miracle. A rice paddy with an American plane flying overhead. He ripped off his shirt and waved it, screaming with the last air in his lungs. The plane vanished. Was it real, or just another fever dream? But the next day, rotors. A rescue hopper had spotted him. They lowered the cable. Dieter Dengler was pulled from hell. He returned to the U.S. a skeleton, but alive. The only American to escape a Pathet Lao prison camp. His story stunned the world. He was debriefed by the Pentagon, featured in newspapers, and awarded the Navy Cross. But the trauma stayed. For years, he'd wake up screaming in the night. He never again felt truly at peace, except in the cockpit. Dieter continued flying until retirement. Years later, filmmaker Werner Herzog made a documentary about him called Little Dieter Needs to Fly. It captured the haunting cost of survival, how escaping the jungle didn't mean escaping the memories. This was not a movie, not fiction. It was real. One man, one machete, no map, no backup, just a will to live greater than the will to give up. And in the darkest corners of war, Dieter Dengler carved his name into history, not with medals or weapons, but with footsteps in the mud and the unbreakable fire of human survival.